I want to bring in Karl Rove, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff, President George Bush, and a Fox News contributor. Karl, good day to you. Just curious,
good day to you.
Maybe in a political sense, how voters see this. Do they see a law and order president going back to 2016, trying to take charge with these federal agents in Portland, for example? Or do they see a former vice president who is laying back a little bit to see how all this plays out? What is your sense of that, Karl?
Well, first, let's take what they most obviously see, and that is an overwrought prosecutor who's doing a stupid thing. I mean, here's a couple who I've not seen any footage of them pointing their weapons at people, but think about it. The prosecutor says it's wrong for you to display a weapon to defend your home when people have broken through a fence, an iron gate, walked over trespassing signs, and are in a private neighborhood walking down a private street, a large mob, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's wrong to have display a couple of weapons in a state that has a protect your home law. So I think the Attorney General, Eric Schmidt of Missouri, is absolutely right to say that he's going to take action against her. And I think the Governor Parsons, is absolutely right to say if the prosecutor proceeds with this, he'll pardon the couple in question. That prosecutor in the city of St. Louis has a lot more important things to worry about than this, and she should have started. If she wanted to be even-handed, I'd at least give her points if she said, I'm going to prosecute people for having broken through a fence, destroyed private property, and shown their disrespect for a no trespassing sign at the same time that I'm going to charge these people. At least you give her points for being fair and even-handed. But it ain't happening.
Yeah, the AG suggested he could dismiss it in a couple of weeks. Go ahead. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah. Look. Though, let's step back. We've got two things going on here. We've got people who believes that peaceful protesting is appropriate, and that's a large majority of Americans. A similarly large majority of Americans believe that no violence is justified in connection with this, even if it's the violence of destroying a fence and crossing onto somebody's private property. People don't believe in that. So if we focus on this particular incident, then it's going to be something that benefits President Trump, who at least gets half of that equation right. That part of the equation being the violence connected and destruction of private property connected with these protests is not justified. But the person who's going to win this argument is the person who can couple that with indignation and outrage at what has happened to people like that poor man in Minneapolis, George Floyd, that we all saw on television. And neither candidate is capable, apparently, of hitting both those notes. The president did hit those two notes in a speech in Florida that was not well viewed because it happened on a Saturday afternoon and hasn't been repeated since. But the American people are looking for somebody who can both show empathy for families of victims and draw a very strong line against the kind of violence that we're seeing in places like Seattle and Minneapolis and Portland, particularly Portland, where it's been going on for 52 days.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I think they're up to 54 and counting now.